Hello friends, in this video we'll talk about arterial blood gas, metabolic disorders and the anion gap. So we are going to discuss introduction, arterial blood gas, metabolic disorders and the anion gap. So what is this arterial blood gas? It is a method to estimate ions that maintain the pH of blood. Okay. So the metabolic disorders are influenced by arterial blood gas parameters. So basically this is a method to estimate what are the ions are required to provide us the required homeostatic pH. Okay. And any alterations in this will cause metabolic disorders. So arterial blood gas for estimation, the blood sample can be taken from the brachial artery, the upper limb, or the femoral artery in lower limb. Rarely they will use femoral artery, but mostly brachial artery only. Okay. Now this is to show you the normal serum electrolyte values. So in this mainly important will be pH, bicarbion, okay, sorry, bicarbion, PCO2, okay. So only three important parameters we'll have to understand. pH is 7.4 normally, bicarbonate 22 to 26, PCO2 is 40, normal is 35 to 45. What will be carbonic acid? 1.2 millimoles per liter. Okay. So remember what are the factors? That is our pH, H plus, bicarbonate and PCO2. Okay. Now let us see with the metabolic disorders. This is a table. So first we will see acidosis. Left side metabolic and this side respiratory. So metabolic, you can write DM, kidney failure, LA, lactic acidosis, diarrhea. Okay, 4 are enough. DKA, renal failure, lactic acidosis and severe diarrhea. If we see respiratory, respiratory means what? Breathing. Like if we are suffocating, what happens? Pneumonia. Pneumonia means the fluid is accumulating in the alveoli. Severe asthma. You can also write emphysema, cardiac arrest. Okay, that is myocardial ischemia. Okay, if all this, why is it happening? Because respiratory center is damaged. So remember just this one point. If respiratory center is damaged, breathing is affected. That in turn may lead to pneumonia, asthma, emphysema, bronchitis, myocardial ischemia, that is, or maybe angina pectoris, because enough oxygen, nutrients and blood is not reaching the cardiac muscle. Okay. It can be chest deformities. One important example which will be asked in the practicals, that is a Harrison sulcus, nothing but pigeon like chest. Okay. Let us see with the alkalosis. So metabolic alkalosis, we have vomiting, hypokalemia and IVB. Simple short term to remember, IVB, intravenous bicarbonate. I as in intra, V as in venous, B as in bicarbonate. If we see alkalosis, hyperventilation, 2,3 BPG. Why am I saying 2,3 BPG? If more 2,3 BPG, it causes anemia and hypoxia. Why hypoxia? Because high altitude. Remember this. When we are going high altitude, automatically oxygen levels deplete and temperature keeps dropping 1 degree Celsius. Okay. And salicylate poisoning, because hemoglobin binded with salicylate. Okay. And this is the compensatory mechanisms we can see. So if you remember acidosis or alkalosis, anyone. So for example, let us remember here acidosis. Then alkalosis will be easy. Okay. For instance, let us take metabolic acidosis and respiratory acidosis. Okay. So metabolic acidosis, plasma bicarbonate, that is bicarbion levels are depleted. There is hyperventilation. That means PCO2 is less. Okay. So Just shift this. In primary, we wrote plasma bicarbonate. Here we wrote decreased PCO2 in compensatory. Opposite of this will be respiratory, but change the positions. Bring this compensatory mechanism here and let this primary change go here. Okay. The same you can do it opposite for the alkalosis also. Okay. But compensation is important. For metabolic, remember, for metabolic, minutes to hours. Respiratory, it is longer, days. Remember, respiratory diseases are always longer. It will take days. Metabolic is short time, that is minutes to hours. Okay. Now let us see with anion gap. Anion gap is what? It is the difference of concentration of cations and it is the difference of the sum of concentration of cations to the and anions. What are the cations? Sodium, potassium. What are the anions? For example, is bicarbonate chloride. Okay, that gives us anion gap. Normally 8 to 16, but average you can say around 12. 8 to 16 millimoles per liter. Okay. So references from where the images were taken. So that brings us to the end of the video. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video.